Hello, welcome to Inside the Job with Shreyas Sigde. We have CA Adarsh Shenoy today. He is a practicing chartered accountant, a professor. He's been teaching for the past 8 years and he has taught about 10,000 students across the state of Karnataka. So he's also a very good friend of mine. Adarsh, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Shreyas.
So very good to have you. So today we'll talk about CA as a profession and also mainly focusing on how students have to approach CA and also some insights on what they need to be prepared for, right?
Right.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure to be here on your show. Thank you for having me.
Yes. So others, the first question for you would be, if you had to explain who is a chartered accountant and what does it do to a 16-year-old kid, how would you do it?
I do that all the time. But first, talking about what is a CA? Because in urban pockets, we know what a CA is, and there's a need for a CA, and people uh, know generally what is a CA and how it is done. But even today, in many rural pockets in our country, people don't know what CA is, what CA stands for. uh, I've experienced that when I say someone that I'm a CA, they ask me, what is a CA again? So CA is basically a chartered accountant. It is a profession, like how you have the lawyer profession, the doctor's profession. It's a profession. So basically, chartered accountant means it's a registered accountant's course. That's how it started. So the Royal Charter, the names of the accountants were written in the Royal Charter by the British, and that's how the term charter comes in. So what is an accountant? Basically, you might see shops, businesses in general. Now, when you do a business, be it a small shop or be it a restaurant or be it a big business like say Reliance or Dani's, so you put money. Lots of people put a lot of efforts into the business. So now you have to know what is the result of all those efforts. So you need to keep a track of all that you do, incomes, expenses that the business is earning. So that is basically accounting. That is what it means, keeping a count of things. So we needed a profession to do this in a professional way, in a legal, in a regulated manner. So that is why this profession of chartered accountants was born. With time, it has evolved a lot. As we all know, the major source of income for the government is taxation. I mean, through tax, the government collects money from the public. So for this also, the CAs are generally the middleman between the government and the taxpayer. So that the CA does that work, calculation, making people pay the correct amount of taxes, so calculating it and all of that, compliances, written filing. So that is what a CA does. So he's basically a middleman between the government and the public in general. And you have even the auditing services, generally it's synonymous, right? CA and auditor. So auditor is basically, we do audits of the accounts that is maintained. Now, accounting can be done by the company itself. They might have their own team doing accounting, but someone has to check if it is legit or not, if it is correct or not. So for that, you need an expert to check that again. Who better than a CA, who is an expert accountant by profession? So a CA comes in. Today, the scope of a CA is a lot more than just audit, tax, and accounting. There's a lot more a CA can do. I'm sure we will talk about it as we go further, but there's a lot of scope with time, with the growing pace of our economy. A CA can contribute to the country in very different ways.
So basically, what you're saying is a CA is like a civil servant, like an IAS, but he is not actually serving the government. He's like
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
in between. He's like a hybrid civil servant plus a professional, right?
Professional. Correct. In fact,
So,
in
and
India,
he's a trusted person.
is a trusted person. In India, you can't, anyone cannot be a CA just like that. I declare it myself, I'm CA from today. No, you have to get the degree from ICAI, the accounting body in India, the export accounting body in India, the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. So they have a curriculum. You have to get through it. It's a mixture of theoretical learning and practical training. So once you finish that course, you will be given a designation. You become a CA basically. So it's a process. You have to go through the curriculum of the ICAI. In fact, speaking about ICAI, it is the second biggest accounting body in the world after the I mean the CPA Institute in US. So this is the second biggest accounting body in the world. So you have to become a member of it to become a CA in India.
Great. So let's coming back to you. What sparked your passion for CA? So why did you choose to
To
do?
be, to be brutally honest, it was money. I mean, the money and the respect that a CA garners, right? That's something. So that's something that pulled me towards the course. And one more thing is, I always wanted to be my own boss. So I was looking for professions where I could be my own boss, and I did not have too many options. I wanted to get into commerce, and businesses in general fascinated me. So that I wanted to study more about businesses. So this one, but to be very honest, I think the money part that comes with the course, right, fascinated me the most. And then next, it was the business part, being close to businesses, and just helping the society in general, and being my own boss, right?
Okay. So if a person wants to pursue CA or become a chartered accountant, what steps does he have to follow and get through?
Okay. I take this question on two ways. One is, what is the steps or the ICAI steps that you have to do when you start the course and stuff. So you basically, if you're a second PUC kid, you're studying 11th or 12th, second PUC as we call it in Karnataka. So after you finish your 12th standard, soon after, you can write your CA foundation, the entry level exams. And then once you clear it, the syllabus for the CA foundation exams is very similar to that of PUC, 11th and 12th. It's a combination of both. And then you get, once you clear CA foundation, you can get into CA intermediate. And there's 1 year study period, around 9 months study period. Once you finish that, once you finish CA intermediate, you get into articleship. We call it as professional training now. So 2 years of professional training, and after that, after 6 months, after you complete your professional training, you're eligible to write your CA finals. And after CA finals, you get your degree. That's all. So it's around 3.5 to 4 years process. Soon after your second PUC. So this
Yeah.
is about that part. So the beauty about this course that I would like to highlight over here is the professional training. So when you're doing a regular degree from an university, you probably will have a vacation during the vacation, right? You get 1 month or 2 months of internship, but here it's not like that. It's proper work environment. You get into it. It's proper. You'll go work under a CA. You will go manage his clients. You'll work for him for 2 years. It used to be 3 years when we used to study. Now it's 2 years from this year. So you work for a CA for 2 years uninterrupted. So you will learn the real world skills also. It's not just about the books, right? So you get used to the real world skills as well. So that makes a CA the course even more attractive for the industry today. So when people are chasing for skills, right, the industry in general uh, is looking for people with skills. So what better skills than the real world experience? So that is why CAs are in demand.
Yeah. So like how doctors have their internship, your CA also has
Yeah.
their internships.
Yes. So, and in the case of MBBS, it's just 1 year, but we have 2 years, and that too, uh, a proper work. Like you're an employee, you're working for the office, and you will have responsibilities. You will learn not just about the course, but you'll also learn about how to cope in a work environment, how to deal with seniors, how to deal with clients. So you'll be the front facing person also most of the times. and application of your knowledge. So whatever you've studied, you apply the same thing. The books, from the books, you're applying it. So it's a lot, a good learning experience overall.
So once a person qualifies as a CA, what
Yeah.
opportunities does he have?
So as I mentioned, there's variety of opportunities today. So traditionally, it used to be, CA could set up as practice. Today also people do that, but the number of people practicing today is lesser. It's like doctor's profession, right? Once you become a doctor, you can either set up your own clinic or you can work for a big hospital. It's something similar over here as well. So you can either set up your own practice, or you could work for some company in the accounting department or taxation department or finance in general, or you could get into consulting as well, a big practice. Like you have the big fours, we call it. So you can get into big fours or big accounting firms, MNCs. So there's variety of opportunities, not just taxation or accounting or auditing. Even these are some major fields. Taxation, accounting, auditing are the core stuff for a CA. But today we're seeing a lot of other fields as well, right? It could be mergers and acquisitions. It could be startups. So anywhere, virtual CFO services where we give every service to the client. So there's a lot of other avenues that's opening up today, even management consultancy. So basically, a CA will be ready for overall a CXO job, but mainly CFO. But other thing, we've seen a lot of CAs get into other professions as well. Take Aman Gupta, for example, or you have Aman Gupta is a chartered accountant, right? He co-founded the boat company, and we have Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, who was a chartered accountant.
Right.
He was in the stock market. So you go anywhere, you'll find a CA there. So that's the kind of scope a CA has. Any sector, anywhere, you'll find a CA being there. Not just being there, being at the top.
Yes. So you have been teaching for past 8 years. So how was your experience, or a person who wants to start professional teaching professionals? So how does he have to approach this?
Um, Probably I'm not the very right person to answer how to get into the profession, because I got into it accidentally, right? So I was in my articleship. I think I was about to finish my articleship. So I get a call, Adarsh, do you want to teach? There's a small vacancy. I said, okay, why not? Let's try that. So, and the course, right? The CA course gives you a lot of guts. Like you become very gutsy. You would have faced so many things at such a young age in real world. When you're 21, 22, you face so many things. When I was 21, 22, I had already worked for 3 years for the CA office. So that gave me a lot of guts, a lot of courage. So someone asked me, do you want to teach? I said, okay. I went. There were like 8 kids in the classroom. And I think two of them were older than me. But I still had the courage to stand and deliver the lectures. So that gave me confidence. And one more, academy got to know about me teaching. So they approached me one more later. So the opportunities kept coming. And I never went asking for it, fortunately. I was getting the opportunities from the other end, and I was doing fine. So that's how I got into teaching. But if you're looking to become a teacher, it's a very nice profession. I teach, and I got the opportunities like that, but I kept saying yes for uh, for many reasons. But one significant reason is you learn. So when you're teaching, right, you learn a lot. You're in touch with academics. You read, you read, you read, you read. So I think teaching is one profession which demands a lot of knowledge. And especially when you're teaching something like CA, you have to keep yourself updated, because many a times, generally, who comes to do a CA? Kids who are, toppers in their college, toppers in their schools. So when you have to face people like that, kids like that, students like that, you have to be the best as well with your knowledge, and you should be. They'll ask you some doubts. They'll ask you some questions. So you should be good enough to answer those questions. You have to have the confidence and the knowledge, uh, and you should be articulate as well. So that's a skill. You have to develop it over time. But teaching CA is, I think, a little harder than any other teaching in general. But it's fun. It's a lot fun doing it. And if you're interested to be a teacher, you should first be a very good learner. So the moment you're a good learner, then you can become a good teacher.
Yeah. So what kind of challenges do CA students face, or what kind of challenges does a professional face as a chartered accountant?
So CA students facing a lot of challenges. You had asked me that question earlier. What does a CA student have to do? I mentioned the technical part. I did not mention this. I forgot. So this, to become a CA is not easy. As we all know, we've heard that a lot in the market. You got to be dedicated. You got to strive. You got to work hard. You have to make a lot of sacrifices, and you have to study. You have to study a lot. I get a lot of approaches from students. In fact, today morning, one student of mine was writing a CA finals, came to me. So he's never failed in his life before, and he's scared now. He's writing CA finals. He's cleared CA Inter first attempt, both groups. CA Foundation first attempt. He's cleared his PUC with great marks, topper in his college, topper in his school. Now, suddenly he's scared that he would fail in finals. With the exams are still 4 months away, but he's still worried a little bit. So it's that kind of course. The best of the best can get a little nervous over here, can get a little scared over here. So it's very stressful academically. You get into it, lots of academy studies to do. So especially when you reach CA finals or something, but it's worth it. So I told him the same things. 4 months, 5 months, you study, work hard. After that, you're free, right? So that's the beauty of the course. And as a CA, it's an ever-evolving profession, like any other profession. So it's ever-evolving. Lots of day-to-day challenges, be it being posed by technology or any other stuff. But there's again, you have to, just because you've become a CA, you can't stop reading, you can't stop learning. So you have to keep evolving, you have to keep reading, you have to keep yourself updated. But that becomes a part of your DNA. Once you clear CA, right, it becomes a part of your DNA, learning, studying, because you're used to reading a lot.
Yeah. So what's a good part about the profession?
It gives you a lot of confidence in general, right? So in life, you're confident because the moment you are a CA, there's the status symbol. You go up the ladder, right? 21, 22. And there are very few professions, or there are very few qualifications in our country. The moment you get it, you become a chief guest material, right? CA is one such profession. So you clear CA finals and you use the two letters in front of your name. Next day, you may be invited to your old school as a chief guest. You don't have to achieve anything else in life. You just have to clear some exams.
Right.
So that's the beauty of this course, right? So the moment you clear your exams, you become chief guest material. So that's the beauty of this course. The money and all of that is next, but the feel good factor, right? You're at your lows in life. There's something very wrong going with you, but still you remind yourself that you're a CA. Suddenly, your day brightens. So that is the beauty of the profession in general.
So as you said, the money part is always secondary when it comes to this profession. But still, I want to ask
Correct.
you, how much money does a typical CA make? Or
So
what
it
is the
yeah.
bar? What is the lowest bar and what is the highest bar?
Okay. So the lowest bar, it depends on what you choose. Okay. So if you're practicing, the lowest bar is zero, right? You're starting from scratch. So you start from zero. But there, the highest bar is the sky. The sky is your limit when you're practicing. So that is why people practice, because the lowest bar is zero, but there's a you can stretch it to whatever extent you want. Of course, it is challenging. It is, but it is unlimited. But if you are looking for a job, employment, then the lowest bar is say somewhere around 8 lakhs. 8 lakhs to 9 lakhs per annum, which is somewhere around 75,000. The institute's data says it's somewhere around 10.5 lakhs in their campus interviews. In the 2023 campus interview, the average package was 10 lakhs. And the highest package in that campus interview was 50 lakhs. That was an international placement, but 50 lakhs. So you imagine 50 lakhs is somewhere around 4 lakhs per month. This is for a fresher CA. This we are talking about a fresher CA, but domestic salary should have been the highest domestic package must have been around 20, 22 lakhs.
Okay.
So somewhere around 2 lakhs a month. This is for a fresher CA, but on an average, you can expect somewhere around 8 to 9 lakhs easily as you once you qualify. And it depends on the city as well. If it is a small area, probably it will be lesser, but normal, like say Bangalore, Delhi, Mumbai, it will be upwards of 9 lakhs. Then the growth is unlimited. Then it depends on you. So you can double it in 2 years or 3 years. So it depends on you completely.
So, are there any other similar professions, or if someone wants to go abroad, what are the options that are available?
So there are many new professions are, because the economy is growing and there's a lot of demand for professionals. So businesses are growing. There are a lot new businesses coming up. So in towns like Mangalore, where we practice, right, where we have our home. So in towns like Mangalore, we see startups every day coming up in some sector or the other, manufacturing, technology, trading, so e-commerce, everywhere we see new guys coming, entering every day. So they can't do everything on their own. Now, for example, you're starting your business, you have an idea, but you have to register the business. You have to start a company, a partnership firm, or an LLP. You have to get licenses for it. You have to get compliances done. You have to maintain accounting records. You have annual compliances. You have to pay your taxes. You have to file your returns. So now there are a lot of people involved here. The startup guy is not going to do it on his own. So he'll need a lot of support, and a CA will provide support. Company secretaries will provide support. Lawyers may be providing support. So there will be these professions coming in. Now, especially today's time after Companies Act 2013, right? The company secretary profession also is gaining a lot of attention because there are some things only a company secretary can do, not even a CA, only a company secretary can do. So there is some monopoly that is being created in some scope of work for company secretary. So that is one course which is emerging. In addition to that, you have CA is the degree given by the ICAI. ICAI has a lot of MOUs, Memorandum of Understandings with other countries, and also we call it MRAs, that is Mutual Recognition Agreements, with a lot of countries globally. But many countries have their own course as well, say accounting course, taxation related course as well. For example, you have the US CPA, or you have the course ACCA in England. You have the CA course in England. So there are different other courses as well. CMA, global CMA course in US, or there's a global CMA course as well. So there are a lot of other courses, avenues as well to pursue. But if you are planning to stay in India and you want to practice the accounting or taxation related jobs tomorrow, then it's still CA itself. So CA is your go-to profession. If you're looking for more compliance-related profession, then that should be CS or law, LLB, LLM for that matter.
So you have been teaching for the past 8 years, and you have seen a lot of students in this past 8 years. People who have cleared the exams and people who have not cleared. So, what is the common trend you see among students who actually make it or get through?
They struggle, to be very precise. You have to do things which a teenager does not do. So you have to, generally a teenager is not meant to do it. So generally what is when the moment you say teenager, the word comes as fun, right? Teenagers have fun. irresponsible fun. But when you're a CA who's a teenager, CA student, you are supposed to have a mature mind. You're supposed to think of the future. You're supposed to think, what do I want 5 years down the line? Not today. 5 years down the line, how do I want my life to be? Or what should I be doing to the society after 5 years? So you have to have that long term thought, which not all the students, not all the kids that age will be able to have. So that one thing, and proper guidance. You need someone to guide you, to tell you what you're supposed to do at that point. So I've seen a lot of kids who probably have the potential, to become a CA or be good in their careers, but because they don't get the right guidance at the right time, they probably don't meet their potentials. So right guidance and the right mindset. So there'll be people to guide. Today you have a lot of people, a lot of sources, resources. You just Google, you find it on YouTube. But you should have the mindset to take it, accept it, and apply it in your life, right? Execution. So that's important. And in general, you should strive. You should strive to be perfect. You should strive to be the best. You should have that hunger in your tummy, and that way you can it will follow. Once you're hungry for it, everything will fall in place. You will ensure that everything falls in place.
Okay. Then the magic word is hunger.
Failures, yes, you mentioned about failures. Let me just failures, it happens very commonly in CA. Yeah, it's very common. We've been through it. I have been personally through it. So it's very common in CA. So there's nothing to worry. Just put your head up again and just keep moving. Right. So the moment you fail, I know it's like your world starts sinking. And most of the times, people who choose CA are by default very smart people. So they've probably never failed in their lives before. So they're failing for the first time. So it can be devastating. And also their parents will be a little bit shaken also because they have not seen their kid fail ever in their lives. So it's new for everyone. It's going to be a little hard, but ultimately you should raise your head, lift your head, and you should say it happens. And see, it happens normally. 99.99% of us fail. So you should just put your head up and you should keep moving. That's all.
Right. So what is the minimum accounting everyone should know, irrespective of their profession?
So we always hear this a lot, that we should have tax as a subject in school, right? So because people don't even today know when will I be taxable, or when will I have to pay taxes. So we come across a lot of people, they have no knowledge about taxes or accounting in general. So I would say you should at least know to keep a track. Accounting is very simple. Basic accounting for a normal human being is very simple. It's just taking care of your incomes and expenses. So what that does is knowing how much you're earning, how much you're spending, keeping a track of it. What that does is you will start saving up more money for contingencies. You will be in general more aware about where you're going financially, and in times like COVID and all of that, you will have some savings with you. The moment you start keeping a track of it, you will be careful about money, and you will start budgeting. You will start doing all kind of stuff which saves you money. So it is advised for people to be aware financially. In India, generally people are aware financially, but probably in today's world, when you have all these sources to spend, in your fingertips, you order something online, you don't even know that money is going out from your bank account, is just flowing out. So in a snap, it's gone. You don't even feel that pinch. You spend some 1,000 rupees, it's suddenly gone out of your bank account, but you don't feel that pinch. So keeping a conscious track of it probably will start motivating you to save more money.
Yeah. So what you're saying is we need to keep a track of our spending, earnings,
Wait,
and,
yeah,
and our
and
services.
taxes. And I also feel people have to plan their taxes better. We get a lot of cases where people could have saved taxes if they were aware about taxation a little bit more. So, be it capital gain exemptions or things like that. People are doing a lot of trading, stock markets, but they're not aware about basic taxation laws. So, I would say, along with accounting, taxation laws, especially if you have a lot of investments, income generating sources, and all of that, basic tax knowledge could take you a long way further.
So, guys, Adarsh is a practicing chartered accountant in Chennai and Bharadwaj firm in Bangalore. So, if someone has to connect with you, how they can do it, Adarsh?
I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook, so you can get your. I'm on Twitter as well, so you can get in touch with me anywhere on these platforms.
So it was a
I
great.
go by the Adarsh Shenoy everywhere.
So it was a great interaction with you, Adarsh.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much for
It
being on
was
the
my
show.
pleasure being here. It was my pleasure being here. I wish you and all your listeners all the very best. And you're doing a great job by having stuff like this. This is more like a social service that you're doing. So, my sincerest wishes for this, and I wish you all the very best with this venture.
Thank you so much, Adarsh.
Thank you for having me.